Welcome to 2 Minute Tuesday. Morgan Franklin Fellowship is going to be doing 2 Minute Tuesdays. This week, we are going to talk with myself. I'm the Executive Director, Judi Window, and Mike Cashion, who is our Operations Director. We're going to try to time this so we can be 2 minutes or less. It will ding, so you'll hear the ding when we're done. That tells us we're done. Sometimes we'll go a little over, sometimes we won't. But really, it's just to give topics of interest to people who may or may not be interested in financial literacy. Over the course of the series, we're going to have different topics. We'd love you to chime in and let us know what kind of topics, financial topics, you'd like us to talk about. We'll invite friends and fellows and volunteers and industry leaders to talk with us each week. So I'm going to toss it over to Mike to start this week's program.
So this week we're talking about net worth, and you're probably wondering why we're talking about net worth this week. Since I started with MFF, I've had a number of conversations with the founder of the organization, Peter Morgan, as well as a number of other people that are involved in the organization, such as Judi, who's our executive director, and a number of our board members. And what's been a common theme over the course of the time has been the discussion of what is net worth, why it's important, and it comes up in almost every conversation. So we decided that we'd dive in on this and talk about it for those of you that don't know what it is or might refer to it as something else. And I know that Judi's had a pretty impactful experience so far since she's come on with MFF. And I'm going to have her share her experience since she started to track her net worth and how she's changed that over time.
Yeah, being a little bit older, I never listened to Peter in the 30 years that he's been trying to tell me to track my net worth. So when I started, or right before I started with Morgan Franklin Fellowship, I did up my net worth, which basically is taking everything that you own, your assets, and minusing your liabilities. It's pretty simple. You don't want to overcomplicate it. It's what you own. It's your savings account. It's your checking account. It's a car if you own it and not lease it. It's your house if you have one. Anything that you own that's tangible that you own, and subtracting what you owe. So your car payment, your long-term debt, like a student loan or a personal loan or a mortgage. So I did that right before I started with Morgan Franklin Fellowship, and I had a goal over the course of the first year to increase my net worth by X amount of dollars. I was shocked. I exceeded way more than I thought I would, just simply from focusing on doing that. So I'd suggest that anybody at any age, starting as young as you possibly can, when you first get your first job and you first start your savings account, to start tracking this. I think it was great fun, and now I'm a little bit obsessed with it.
Thanks for sharing that, Judi. So as you said, everybody's at a different point in their life. Some people may be starting their first job and just getting into savings. Some people might be in their career for a little while, and then others that are on the tail end of their career and higher earning years. Now, it is important for everybody to know what their net worth is and where they stand, regardless of how old they are or where they're at. You can start by just tracking how much you're saving. If you're just getting started with your first job and you really don't have much in terms of assets or liabilities, keeping track of what you have in your savings account can be a great first start. And then as you kind of go from there, have more of a career and you start having things like you've bought or financed a car, you've gone through the process of purchasing your first home, things start to become a little bit more complex. But knowing where you stand, what resources you have available, and how you can leverage those can be really important. And I think you mentioned this earlier, but every business has to have an understanding of what their net worth is so that they can pursue business ventures. They can show to the people that they're working with, whether it's partners or investors, that they have their house in order and that they're going to be a good partner to work with. That can also be for like vendors or other things. But that's the same thing for somebody from a personal standpoint. If you want to get a loan or open a credit card or even go for a job, if you don't have your finances in order and don't have a good understanding of what your net worth is, it can come back to bite you if you're not aware of it. So we strongly encourage you, regardless of where you're at, in your professional career to keep an eye on that, learn about your net worth, know about it, maybe evaluate it on an annual basis. And for us, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of keep this series going, keep an eye out for our intern, Kendall, who's going to be talking about her net worth and how she's learned about that and started to track it. I'm going to throw it back to Judi so she can talk more about what we offer here for financial literacy here at Morgan Franklin Fellowship.
Yeah. Oh, that's our Oops, come on. So what I wanted to say, sorry, before we were so rudely interrupted by the bell, is that just be watching for our follow-up post. As Mike said, Kendall will be writing something about her net worth. We have a couple of things coming out. We have social media posts. We have our website, which has blogs. And if you're really interested, go to our website, learn more about who we are, what we do, and about our tuition-free financial literacy program. And that is at morganfranklinfellowship.com.